Hey there guys, it's your host for the Brett's Review Show. Let's fire up this review. Today's review is actually going to be my thoughts on, I guess the English translation, if I remember right, is called Rage of Bahamut. But it's Saijaku Muhai no Bahamut. It's entertaining to say the least. It's about Luke's Arcadia, one of the only surviving members of the old Empire. He has a little sister, and she attends school for Drag Knights. It kind of has Infinite Stratos feel, because Drag Knights, they're supposed to be like dragons in mechanical suits, like Infinite Stratos for reference, but it uses swords. They call the swords Keyblades. So Luke's Arcadia has one that's a white one. It's called a Wyvern, and then he has Bahamut, which is the black one. He carries two swords, not one but two, and because of what happened, Luke's has to do odd jobs for the new kingdom with a young new queen in the running who's ruling or whatever. His sister has no choice but to attend this school. The comedy and the amour shipping and between all the characters, and not just between Lisha, which is the queen, the little young queen I'm referencing, was very amusing. The action scenes were quite entertaining, but about the ending, the end fight scene seemed to be cut off in a way that could be quite frustrating, and it really was, because it goes from an intense fight, and then all of a sudden, just like that, it's the ending, and you're like, oh, okay, how it goes straight to the end collision, to all of a sudden there's a celebration and a speech and whatever. Oh, it was kind of like the final fight seemed to be kind of like a guerrilla warfare. You got fight here, go back, you fight, run again, fight again, run, fight again, to suddenly ending. So that was kind of the irritating part. But how each character grew throughout each episode, and how looks kind of changed, because everybody viewed him as a pervert. Because what happens is, when him and Lisha first meet, he's on a job trying to get a cat, and this is before he takes the job to work on Drag Knights at the school where his sister's going, and he ends up falling through the ceiling into the woman's bath, and well, gets himself in that kind of situation and gets himself in trouble. As a whole, for 12 episodes, I give this an 8 out of 10, mainly because of the entertainment and the comedy, how it takes one guy in an all-girl school to change everybody's lives, and he pretty much just apologizes for pretty much anything. Anything that happens, he thinks he did it, so he apologizes for. And there's a little thing about what his past. They say he's the only one, the strongest one, that he took out. Like, he actually turned against the kingdom itself, his father's empire, and actually took it on by himself. He took out armies by himself. That's why they call Bahamut that Drag Knight with the use that gets being summoned by the black Keyblade that Luke's Arcadia uses. And there is one badass scene, and that's actually in, like, I think the first episode. I think that's the one badass scene I'm going to say for Luke's Arcadia. And It's all right. And don't get me wrong. How some of the girls, if not all of them, see him as one big pervert, like I've already said. No, I think he did admit to being one. I think it did at one point in some of the episodes later. He did admit to being a pervert. But hell, who isn't? Come on, I don't try hide. Leisha, on the other hand, is like any other princessy, queen kind of character who's really thinks she's so high up that you have to listen to everything she says and that you mean nothing to her and she can step all over you and, you know, acts pretty arrogant. But yet, in a way, she's still a good person on the inside. And that's how some of these characters get played out. They get played as arrogant, childish, and real big pain. But they end up showing who they really are later on, and they end up becoming a good person. And like Lux said in that first badass moment, he wouldn't mind fighting for a queen like for a young queen like Leisha. He believes that she could become a good queen, and he doesn't mind fighting for her. And I don't think the story is yet to be finished. There's more to be said and more relationships to be built and to grow upon. Whom will Arcadia, Lux, choose? Leisha, the queen, or other girls? Because in the speech that she gave, she chose him to be her knight. And he's the only guy in the school, okay? He's the only one that's there. And all these other girls that he met throughout each episode, quite a lot of them, they all want him. They all want him, including Leisha. But Leisha, when they were in a conversation when she was having a conversation with Lux after her speech and, you know, party, whatever, and Lux catches a glimpse of someone he knows, who also happens to have a black keyblade. So there's not one, there's two. That's why I say the story is not finished, that there should be another one coming. That she gets embarrassed for a moment. She gets embarrassed when she says this. That we should, shut up phone, that we should, you know, grow upon our relationship, you know, to move forward, you know, go that next step. But then all of a sudden everything gets interrupted and all these girls start swarming him. And his sister comes up, you know, brother, you're a big pervert. You know, you're stupid. Yeah. And Leisha draws her sword and points it directly at him and goes, "Lux Arcadia, my knight, make your decision on who you choose." And he's like, What? What'd I do? But overall, even if it is kind of like a medieval version of Infinite Stratos, it's still pretty cool. It's cool on how each character just happens to grow through each episode. You get a little piece of about each character as each episode goes on. So overall, 8 out of 10. I actually recommend it. If you have not seen it, go ahead and check it out. Anyway, I am your host, Brett from the Brett's Review Show. I say it is time to cool down and look forward for the next review. Peace.